Hey everyone, wanted to walk you through the whole first MELCon process because I know at first glance it could look a little overwhelming. Don't worry, we have plenty of time. We're very prepared. We have lots of supports, but I just want to walk you through all the stuff that is at your disposal and explain all this information to you in case you don't get to hear it in person. So we're going to have 3 school days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, to work on creating a MELCon paragraph for the short story, The Sniper. Due Sunday, like everything else, by midnight, but we want to make sure we get this one in on time. This is like our most important type of assignment. We'll do a couple of them this term, but these assignments measure the biggest, most important skills that we hope to gain during this class. So that's why this is so important and such an emphasis is put on it. So that we have the time, start early, give yourself enough time, ask questions, email me, Google Meet me, whatever you need to do so we can make this a good experience. You should have read The Sniper last week. You did an assignment where you answered some questions about the story. You don't have to, but I would recommend maybe going back and looking at that assignment, getting some ideas of what we already know, some answers and some quotes we found that are going to be working pretty well. So that's something that you could possibly do as an extra support. Really, I made this checklist to try and make it as goal-oriented as possible and chunk it out as much as I could. So let's take a look. First, read The Sniper if you haven't already done so. Hopefully you did it last week because it was an assignment paired with those questions, obviously. So if you haven't read it or you've completely forgotten about it, go back and read it. It is attached down here. So if we open that one up, the Sniper text, waiting for it to load. It looks like this. There's audio here if you'd prefer to listen to it, but it's just a 3-page short story. Nothing incredible. Good story, but not anything that's going to take a super long time to get through. So we've done that. Great. Open the MELCon paragraph prompt and pick one of the prompts. So there's multiple prompts. You're just going to answer one of them. You pick whichever one you think is easiest. So let's take a look. Paragraph prompt. We can view it here. Waiting for it to show its face. All right. So we're writing a MELCon based on what we read in The Sniper. We need one piece of evidence with a citation. So a quote with a citation, author's last name, and our page number in parentheses followed by a period. And this is our MELCon. We've been learning this all term. Main idea, topic, verb, position, reason. Evidence, our context, our quote, our citation, our link. Answering those 2 questions in at least 2 sentences. What's the evidence saying? What does it mean? And then how does our evidence prove that our main idea is correct? And then our concluding sentence, our recap, where we're summarizing, we're mashing together that evidence and the main idea, rephrasing it so we can really drive that main point home. All this stuff you're going to see in a little bit, like double space, 12-point font style, Times New Roman. That's all set up for you already in the document. I'll show you that at some point in this video. And then make sure we're looking at our punctuation and spelling. If something's not spelled right, fix it. We want to have capitals, periods, all that jazz, okay? So the prompts, it's highlighted. We're picking one of them to answer. Characterization, what is a personality trait of the main character? There's a ton of different answers to this. It just depends what your answer is and what your evidence is. Internal conflict, what's the main internal conflict the main character deals with? And notice we have some little cheat sheet down here to help us with these literary terms if we need it. Setting, how does the setting affect the story's events or outcomes? So we talked about where we're at, what's going on. And then theme, what's the message of the story? Or a message, there's plenty. All right, so kind of another little checklist here. Our tips, this is all just kind of stuff we've already talked about already. And then we're going to be writing our response in our paragraph template. So let's take back to our original checklist. Open up the rubric real quick, check that out. I'm always going to try and post the rubrics with our writing assignments so we know exactly how we're being graded. And then also, if you know how you're being graded, you kind of know if, all right, what do I need to do to get a certain grade? So if we're following this, what we're seeing here, hopefully we can choose to include everything. There's examples in bold with a lot of them. So it's like, oh, what does an example of an A look like? What does an example of a C look like? Obviously, do not copy anything that's on here because I'm going to figure that out, but these are a good guide to help you figure out what you need to do in your MELCon. So that is there for you. Some other helpful info there. I'll let you read through all that, but just know that's there and that can be helpful to look through. Probably not a side note, but something that's important. This is worth 50 points, so this is a big deal. Like I said, it measures all of our key skills, so that's why it's worth so much. Number 4, open the MELCon graphic organizer. Think of it as a rough draft. It has everything a MELCon paragraph needs in this graphic organizer. So we're going to open this up here. You have your own copy, so please type in it or on it, whatever. You can go back to the prompt with this. If you're struggling with transition words, you can click on this and you'll be taken to a list of appropriate transition words and where they would fit well in a paragraph. Tell me which prompt you picked. Type that up here so you know it's there for you as well. And as you're working, you can look back to that and the exact wording. Main idea, we need that topic, verb, position, reason. Rewording the question. Our verb, oftentimes it's going to be is. Writing in present tense here. Position, our answer to the question, and then our reason, or because why. Okay, transition word. Our context, we're explaining what's going on in our evidence. What's going on, who's talking, who's there, what's happening. Give me some background info so I can picture it in my mind. Evidence, this is a quote, all right? So we have our quotation marks, taking something directly from the text, the sniper, and then our citation, parentheses, author's last name, page number, nothing else in between besides a space, and then a period at the end. Link, first part, what is our evidence saying? What does it mean? And then our second part, how does this evidence prove the main idea is right? That's our whole point of this, remember? We're using evidence to show that our main idea is correct, or you should believe my main idea. Another transition word, we're moving towards the end, and then our conclusion, or our concluding statement, restating your main idea, your topic, verb, and position. So we're paraphrasing, not just copying and pasting. And then instead of using the same reason, we are summarizing or paraphrasing our evidence as our reason. So this is because why. So I want you to fill that out. Just think of this as your rough draft. And if you can fill everything out in here and you know that you answered the questions and did whatever it is that we have listed here in the red, you're on your way to a pretty solid MELCon. So we filled that out, we've opened it, we filled it out. Now we're to number 6. Once you've completed the graphic organizer, move on to the paragraph template. This is where you will type your final draft. Refill out all areas. For example, replace the area that says first name, last name with your own first and last name, and then type what you had written in your rough draft. So let's take a look at that. Here's our paragraph template. Type your final draft in this document because it's set up with the right margins and the right font size, double spacing. So you're just replacing these things with the appropriate names, your name, my name, Mr. O'Mara, class name, Linton Lang 1, date, whatever the date is. Title of your paragraph, make it informative. Tell me something about what your main idea is. Give me a little teaser. And then this is where you're going to type out your paragraph here. Fill this out as well. That is called a header. We'll get into MLA formatting later on. But this is just kind of a very introduction-based template, so you'll understand it more in the future, but we're focusing on the content of your writing here and not necessarily your formatting. So that's what you're typing your final draft on. Heading back to our checklist, here we go. Spell check your final draft. Make sure you've started all sentences with capitals, finished all sentences with periods. Did you include a citation for your quote? That is a must. And then once you've done all these things, you're feeling good about it, please submit this assignment in Google Classroom. Remember, this assignment is due at 11:59 on Sunday, September 20th. So if you finish it early, turn it in so you don't forget about it, because the late penalties on this are going to be pretty strict. Can't be, I had it done, but I forgot. We got to make sure we get this turned in. Got to be organized, got to be prepared. Please email me at this address, my first initial, last name at moleneschools.org. With any questions on this process, I'm here to help you. I don't want this to be difficult. That's why I've provided all these supports. broken it out, given you plenty of time. So really, we're just trying to make this as pleasant an experience as possible. I think you're prepared because of our steps that we've gone through to learn MELCon. If you need to go back and look at main idea notes because you don't remember something about main idea, it's still in classroom. So let's just take a look just so we fully get how to do that. So if we need to go back, oh, my main idea, I can't fully remember. Going all the way back to week 1, main idea instruction. Here's my slides, here's a video on it. So all these things are here for you. Evidence, same thing. And then we have concluding statement up here, and then our links too. So all these things are here for you to reference whenever you need them. There's a ton of things here to help you, including your teacher, me. So I think this is going to go really well. I'm excited to read what you write. I'm excited to see you accomplish something big. This is our first one that we're doing, and they're only going to get better from here. So give it your best shot, and I'll get these back to you as soon as I can, and let me know what I can do to help. Thanks.